Welcome to another Deal of the Month video. My name is Will Tong. I'm the CEO of Property Alliance, and our company, we specialize in value-add commercial property deals. And today I'm going to take you all the way to Melbourne. We're going to have a look at this abandoned DVD factory in Mordialloc. I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do to increase the value of this opportunity. Now, before I forget, I did make a video about this property about 3 months ago. You can search for this video and then you can see what the property looks like internally. Now, as you can see from the screen right now, it is an old abandoned DVD factory. I mean, nobody watches DVDs anymore. Now, this property was purpose built for the company about 30 years ago. And as you can see from the video, there's a lot of infrastructure in there. A lot of infrastructure that was customized for the DVD factory. Fast forward today, the DVD factory obviously went broke, moved out, but left behind all this infrastructure that nobody can use. So what we're going to look to do is we're going to send in a crew with sledgehammers and basically demolish everything. What we want to do is we want to open this factory right up, bring it back to clear span, increase the height to what it should be, and basically turn it back into a standalone warehouse where majority of businesses can actually use. Now, one of the great things about this particular property is that even though there's a lot of infrastructure in place, as I mentioned, the bones are really good. You've got good clearance, basically from slab to the roof line, roughly about 7.5 meters. And you've got about a 3,000 square meter footprint in terms of the internal floor space. But as you can see from the photos here, there's just a lot of junk and a lot of infrastructure that nobody can use anymore. Now, as you can see from a couple of these photos, the property does have a lot of power going into it. So we'll be looking at retaining a lot of the substation, a lot of the power that goes into this building. But other than that, a lot of this mezzanine, a lot of this air conditioning, a lot of this cooling system, we're basically going to remove. And we're going to basically look at removing all the stuff in the middle, as you can see. So we're going to retain some of the office space in the front. We're going to install a new roller shutter door right in the front of the facade. But basically everything else in here, as you can see, we're basically going to get rid of and turn this back into a clear span warehouse. So that's the strategy. But what about the numbers? So this is where the numbers get really exciting. So after a period of negotiating with the owner, we've ended up agreeing to a $5 million purchase price. At $5 million, we're looking at about a $1,600 per square meter on build, which is quite attractive. The end value that we're projecting is going to be somewhere between $7.5 to $7.8 million, which is roughly about $2.5 grand per square meter. Now, if we look at some of our research, you can see that most buildings in this sort of vicinity are reaching somewhere between $2.5 to $3 grand per square meter. So our exit values, we have research and basically sales evidence to support it. We've also spoken to a number of selling agents and they all concur about $2.5 grand to maybe $2.6 a square meter is a reasonable exit value. And this is further supported by the market rent as well. So we believe that the property, if it was reverted back to a warehouse, it should be getting somewhere between $135 to $140 per square meter net. And at a 5.5% cap rate, it also marries up with our assumed or projected exit value. So which is great. So if we can buy the property for $5 million and we can get a value that's somewhere between $7.5 to $7.8 million, there's a really obvious upside. It's a no-brainer. So the question is, how much is it going to cost to do the refurb and how we are going to actually structure the deal? So at a $5 million acquisition price, there are going to be some acquisition costs. So in Victoria, we can defer the stamp duty via CIPT. There'll be some closing costs, basically legal fees. There'll be some loan costs, some consulting costs. So roughly about 5.16 million is your total acquisition cost. There's going to be some holding costs, basically interest payments across the next 12 months. I'm going to come back to that. There'll be some outgoings that we'll be responsible for, obviously land tax, council rates, water rates, etc. But in terms of strip out, make good costs, we've had the property project quoted, and it comes in at about $536,000. So all up, the total cost to buy the property, refurb it, hold it, and put it back on the market after 12 months, it's roughly $6.4 million. So at a $7.8 million exit value, we're looking at about a $1.4 million profit margin, which is quite healthy. It's about a 22% profit margin and about a 55% ROI. And this has got a turnaround time of about 6 to 12 months. So this is quite incredible because this beats almost every residential development I've seen at this price range. So how do we structure the deal if it's vacant? So you probably would have noticed it's a very high loan fee. That's because we have to go with a private lender. But thankfully, with the private lender is able to lend us about 71% of the total purchase price. And it's broken up into a couple of components. It's broken up into the deposit and it's also broken up into the capex as well. And in terms of the interest payments, even though it's a lot higher, in terms of private lending space, 9.5% is actually pretty cheap. We've been able to negotiate a deal with the private lender to capitalize the interest payment. So the interest payment is payable at the end. So there'll be no ongoing interest payments while we're holding the property. So in terms of equity or cash required to do the deal, roughly about $2.5 million is required to do the deal. So at $2.5 million cash in, and you'll be able to get out, roughly $1.4 million cash out within 12 months' time. That represents roughly about 55% ROI. So which is really, really attractive. So this is the deal of the month. I really like it because it's a really simple strip out. No DAs required for the strip out component. And as you can see, it is a really clear refurbishment strategy. It's in a good location. It's got good bones. It's a good size warehouse. What else do you want? Now, again, my name is Will Tong. I'm the CEO of Property Alliance. If you want to get yourself a deal like this, or you're in a market and you're not quite sure where to find deals like this, then definitely hit us up. And if you did enjoy this video, then definitely hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.